Sleeping with girls is cool, but have you ever tried demolishing your looks? Here is the anti-looksmaxxing checklist. Short hair or buzz cut. Beards. Acne from substance abuse. Skinny fat. Bad tattoos. Tight clothing. I will feature some more aspects in this video. Before we start, it is important to remember that some men don't want to maximize their appeal to women. This video is targeted at men that want to look good, but took wrong turns. The anti-looksmaxxing epidemic describes a trend in which men try to improve their looks level but end up destroying their appearance. There are a multitude of reasons why men are unintentionally becoming less attractive to women, but most of the reasons are correlated with men not understanding the female gaze. Instinctively, we men desire strength. Even as little boys, we are drawn towards hyper-masculine characters. Strong soldiers that fight hordes of enemies. Boys idolize these muscular warriors because they display strength, coolness, and power. They have all the typical masculine attributes. However, when it comes to looksmaxxing, it isn't about maximizing masculinity, but instead maximizing the appeal to women. Although those two goals overlap, they are by no means the same. The classic example is the polished truck driver. Everyone knows that he is a masculine man. Nobody would ever question his masculinity, yet we know that most girls would not want to date him. The core of the anti-looksmaxxing epidemic is confusing maximum masculinity with maximum appeal. Let's start with a very simple example. Having facial hair is completely normal and healthy for a man. It's a sign of masculinity. Having hair all over your shoulders and upper arms might seem masculine, but it isn't attractive. If you are agreeing with the statement that too much body hair is unattractive, then the masculinity equals attractiveness myth has already been debunked. I think this is the first step that men need to take. Attractiveness can neither be measured in nanograms per deciliter testosterone nor pounds you can bench. Once you have accepted this truth, the next question you need to ask yourself is, who decides what is considered attractive? The answer is, of course, women. This is a huge problem for long-time singles. Men who never interact with women only get male feedback, which is unfortunately oftentimes counterproductive. This goes back to the difference between the male and the female experience. Every girl experiences male attention even from a young age. Girls quickly learn that certain outfits increase or decrease the attention they receive from the opposite gender. By the time she is 15, she already knows the male gaze. Boys, on the other hand, almost never get feedback. The average guy doesn't get approached on the street. Independently of how he dresses, the feedback is always the same. It's non-existent. He just gets ignored. This is why men are not lead in the right direction. The only men that get female feedback are chads or some men in relationships in which their girlfriends clearly communicate how they want them to dress and style themselves. For long-term singles, this feedback does not exist, which makes them more likely to fall for red pill Cooper advice from men. The Cooper advice is of course complete bullshit because it usually ignores important aspects of the female gaze. But why do they lie or not know better? There are multiple reasons. First of all, the Coopers fell for wrong observations. In our current era, which is called the boomer truth regime, genetics are a huge taboo. This is why many people learn to find different ways to explain certain phenomenons. If a girl stays with an abusive boyfriend, then the Cooper thinks that she stays with him because he is abusive. He draws the wrong conclusions. She is really staying with him because he is 6 feet 5 inches and handsome, but that's outside of the normie's non-genetic-based worldview. The red pill Cooper believes in a false premise and therefore can't provide the right looksmaxxing advice. Additionally, most men hate pretty boys. This is because the pretty boy behaves more feminine than most other men. This makes him seem like a traitor. The pretty boy isn't seen as a worthy representative of the male gender and therefore might draw negative attention to him from hyper-masculine men. This, however, has become rare in the current age. In the Zoomer generation, pretty boy maxing is very common. The female equivalent to the pretty boy might be the bimbo. She gets lots of male attention, but most other women hate her for acting like a sex object, which only purpose is it to pleasure men. The hatred from men against pretty boy maxers and women against bimbos isn't completely unjustified. After all, when nobody looks maxes, it is all about genetics. When everyone looks maxes, it is again all about genetics. The pretty boy maxer is setting new standards and other men need to catch up. It's like in the office when someone suddenly starts working longer hours. This makes everyone else look bad in comparison. So this is another reason why men don't looksmax to their full potential. They are afraid that other men will be hostile towards them. What exactly are anti-looksmaxers doing wrong? Starting with the most important, the buzz cut. Shaving your head despite having hair should be classified as a mental disorder. Women love hair. They love messy hair, they love fluffy hair. Why would you compromise your looks by shaving them off? It's pure anti-looksmaxing. It might look masculine, but it doesn't look good. The second big thing is bulking. It's good to be in shape. Being in shape does not mean being a power lifter. A strongman physique might help you carrying heavy objects, but it does not help you getting laid. Abs, a sharp jawline, veins, hollow cheeks or V-lines are attractive features. Those are all correlated with low body fat. Many guys gain weight because they think they have to eat tons of calories to build muscles. Although this is partly true, oftentimes guys overeat and destroy their looks by becoming skinny fat. Illegal substance abuse, of course, goes hand in hand with masculinity coping. Although in some cases men benefit from testosterone and hormones, it's more often than not that side effects appear. Hair loss and rapidly aging skin are not uncommon amongst gymsels. Those negative consequences often outweigh the benefits, especially since women are usually not into a bodybuilder-type physique. This brings me to another important factor. Anti-looksmaxers appeal to an oversaturated market. There are way more bodybuilders than women who want to date bodybuilders already. There are many other looksmaxing fails which I can't all cover in depth in this video. I will name a few examples. Please let me know in the comments if you want to have a dedicated video about them. One misconception is that a cartoonishly large lower third will turn a normie into a Chad. There needs to be some form of harmony between your lower third and the rest of your body. Oftentimes tall guys have faces that show high levels of human growth hormone. Those faces do not necessarily fit short guys. Furthermore, skinny clothes are not attractive. Guys think that they need to display their muscles by wearing skin-tight clothing, when in reality it would be more aesthetic to be subtle. Understatement is also recommended when it comes to displaying your gym-focused lifestyle. If she feels like the gym is your whole life, you will look like a tryhard. It has to appear that you are fit by nature to have the maximum effect. The anti-looksmaxxing epidemic peaked in the 2010s. This was when dating slowly but surely became harder for men, but most men did not yet learn how to looksmax properly. Today we are reaching the end of the anti-looksmaxxing era. Almost every young guy looksmaxes and genetics become more important. If nobody looksmaxes, it's all about genetics. If everyone looksmaxes, it is again all about genetics.